Waiting for some people to arrive. Hello. You don't look familiar. Is this your first time on a live? Hi, Keisha. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Are you male or female? Semi. Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome. I'm glad you called live. You're sophisticated, sexy, and smart. That's what you are? Oh, that's what it stands for? You're sophisticated, sexy, and smart. I like that. I like that. I'm just waiting to see if a few more people jump on before I start talking. Oh no, I'm not. This is just me hungry. I'm eating some grapes in front of you. I don't think this is mukbanging unless the microphone is like right here or something like that. I don't think this qualifies unless you're turned on by it. Are you turned on? Let me know if I'm turning you on. Because that's my intention. Nah, seriously. I'm a little hungry. So I said I'll munch on a few grapes. Munch on a few grapes. That's all I've been eating lately. That and my bamboo tea I got right here. It's been brewing for a little bit. Got to get your health together, you know. Because without health, how are you going to be sexy without health? You know? How are you going to be all the things you want to be if you don't take care of the temple? The temple is a part of this thing. That's what the temple, you got to take care of your temple. I was on a telephone call with a friend of mine I've known since I was 18, I believe. So we go back a long way. And in our discussion, you know, there are things that she wants to do with her life. You know, she wants to start a business and some things. And I was just helping her get her mind right, get her mind into the proper perspective of the mentality she needs to adopt in order to make a life for herself. You know, a lot of us are living suppressed. We're repressed, suppressed, and we are not really acting out our full potentials because of how we look. We're letting how we look hold us back. And I can understand why. For a lot of us, we hesitate on things. We hesitate on doing things. We hesitate on trying things because we don't feel we're good enough or we look good enough for that, because there are critics out here. There are people on the ready, all on the ready to say, you're not pretty enough to say that. You don't look good enough to expect that. You're not attractive enough to get that. This is what we are told, and we cower down. We cower down and we diminish ourselves because somebody else or somebody else's out here repetitively say that you're not enough. You're not pretty enough for this. I said I was going to start an ugly club as really a gag, really a joke. Because, you know, the post was really about us getting rid of the vanity thing and, you know, stop making it the focal point of our lives, how you look. We got to be more than just how we look. That was really the point. And I said I was going to invite some people to the club, but some of y'all don't know you're ugly. And I don't want to insult you by inviting you into something that I think you should be in, but you don't want to admit that you should be in it. So there wouldn't be any members. All of a sudden now, I want in, I want in, I want in, I want in. And I was taken aback by it. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, y'all serious about it? So now I have to do it. I just purchased the domain. I'm building the website and everything right now. Gathering up content to put on it. And now it's going to be a movement. Now it's going to be a movement because I see the necessity to hammer in the point that how you look is such a small portion to the value that you can bring to somebody's life, anybody's life, not just a man, but just people in general. Some of y'all are sitting on cures for cancer, but you think you're too ugly to make a video and say, here's the tincture, here's the remedy, do this, mix that and the other. You're not confident enough to make the fucking video so you can save somebody's life because you're 10 pounds overweight or something like that. We're holding ourselves back. We're holding our own magic back because we don't fit this narrative of how we're supposed to look. We don't talk like this woman. We're not feminine enough. We're too fat. We're too this. We're too dark. With lips too big, nose too big. We look like men. We're masculine with this, that, and the other. And you let all your magic go to waste. All your magic go to waste. And that was basically the conversation that I was having with her today. I'm like, you know what? Life could be saved by your message. And you're too self-conscious about what you are, about how you measure up to people, to put yourself out there and be an intervention to somebody who's looking for your message to keep themselves from killing themselves. This is what we do. I was like that too. Oh man, I'm dark skinned. I don't know if they're going to really listen to me because, you know, I don't have this and I don't have that. I don't really look like this and I don't look like that. I don't know. I don't have any credibility like those other girls. So who's going to take me seriously? Voices in your head, right? And it wasn't until I said, you know what can I do about that? I can't be a white woman. Can't be a light-skinned woman. I'm not built like her. I'm built like me, and this is me. This is all I can deliver. This is all I bring. And I got to work with what I have. And I had to come to my own conclusions that I was also more than this. That I can offer more than just the outer shell. And even with that, does it stop people from criticizing? No. They come every day. I'm everybody's monkey. I'm everybody's monkey on here. Both male and female. Both male and female. Oh, Salkis, what you need to be talking about is this. You shouldn't. Why are you focusing on that when you need to be talking about this? Salkis, you're not being realistic about this because, you know, you're a mammy, Salkis. You're a nigga like the rest of us. You can't be rallying folks together and trying to bring people together. You're not in a social position to do that. You're not upper echelon, Salkis. You don't look like you have $1 million. So what you're saying is irrelevant here. You need to be down in the dumps with the rest of us. You need to be a Debbie Downer. You need to be a mascot for all of us Debbie Downers and all us manic depressives who think the world is to blame for all of our problems. Why are you not being an advocate for us, Salkis? Because that's what you look like you should be. This is what they'll say. This is what they'll say. Everything comes back to how you look, face value. So I understand when some of you have hesitations about putting yourselves out there, because you got to have a thick skin. You got to have a thick skin for when the critics come, because they will come. They will come. And how you buffer that, how you build your armor up, is by having your whys in place. Like, why are you putting yourself out there? Why are you starting a business? Why are you wanting to further yourself in any way? Maybe you need to go back to school and you're afraid. You know? It could be anything. Maybe you want to get married and you're afraid. Maybe you want to be a mother and you're afraid. Women are pressured in every category. You're afraid of what people think. You need social approval in order to do any fucking thing. Anything. You know what a wasted life that is? It's a real wasted life. It's a real wasted life. I had to come to some conclusions about why it is that I get out of my own comfort zone to do what it is that I do. And my thing is a movement. It's a ministry. It's a ministry. And I just don't want other women to suffer. That's really the bottom line for me. I know suffering is a part of life, and I can't wipe away every tear that you'll have. But there are some mistakes that are foolish. There are some mistakes that don't have to be made if you have someone honest enough to tell you, that right there is a little dumb. You might want to walk around that boulder right there. You're going to trip and fall. So that's what I'm here to do. I can't wipe every tear, but I can sure put a dent in some of the assumption that you feel around not measuring up. I want to put a dent in the delusion that you have to look a certain way to be valued in this life. You have to look a certain way to gain respect in this life. That you have to look a certain way to expect someone to treat you with respect and love. Because a lot of us resolve to have relationships where we are abused because we just feel that's all we deserve. And you felt like that's all you've deserved all your life. And you know the irony and the sick irony of it all is that when someone abuses you, when you feel like you can relate to their abuse of you, which would be whatever degrading, disparaging remarks they say about you, if you agree with it, you feel like you're getting closer to them. This is why people stay with people who don't care about them. Because your abuser is supposed to heal you. Yep. The person that's abusing you is the one that's supposed to uplift you. This is why you stay. And if you agree that he tells you you're a piece of shit monkey ass, you're a piece of monkey shit, you look like shit, you look like a fucking man, you don't deserve anything. When you agree, you say, well, if I agree, maybe he'll love me more. If I agree with him, I think that'll bring us closer, because then we'll have a commonality. The commonality is that he thinks I'm shit and I think so too. I agree. So now we can be closer, because maybe one day he will love me. One day he will love me, and I want to stick around for that one day where he'll love me, because then I'll feel love for myself. Then he can liberate me. Because he's the only one that can liberate me. Because he's the only one that feels that I'm inadequate. So I need him to liberate me. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. This is what life is. This is what life is, though, for us as women. Every one of you has something special buried inside of you. Every one of you. But because you're not that cute, by by maybe even your mother's standards. I'm talking about society, but it might be your family. And more than likely, it usually is with us. I told you, was it the last live or the one before last? Well, there's 3 ways that your self-esteem is turned to shit. One is in the womb, because you start feeling your emotions in the womb. A baby cries, laughs, experiences fear, every emotion inside of the womb before it's even born. Then when you get out, you got to deal with maybe a fucked up mother. Maybe a mother who didn't want you. Maybe you were an accident. Maybe you're a bastard. Maybe you were a keep a nigga baby and the baby left. And the man left. Right? Could be any circumstance. And you have to deal with family members that, bully you around. Maybe feel that you shouldn't have been born. So you deal with that dynamic. And then the last break of your heart is a romantic relationship. You get the romantic relationship and then he dogs you out, all chambers of your heart are done. You have nothing left. He finishes off what's left of your heart. He totally destroys it in a bad relationship. And that's most of us. Those 3 ways. Now you got to pick up pieces as an adult. And try to navigate through the sea of doubt, of insecurities, of the programming that you are not worthy because you look like this, because you like this, because you want this, and still do something, still try to do something spectacular in this life. So what do you do if you're a woman who's a 3 on the scale, or 5, 3, 4? What do they do? Because women who are unattractive are treated like criminals. Pretty much. Unattractiveness in this society anyway is criminal. You could be all kinds of good-hearted, all kinds of selfless, all kinds of humble, all sorts of that. And all a man will see is how ugly you are, which means I can abuse you. You're only a 4. I'm going to dog the shit out of you. That's what he's saying. Body ain't built so hot. I'm going to give you this dick and send you on your way. That's what I'm going to do. You get this Starbucks venti and maybe a toasted croissant and be happy with that shit. That's all you get. That's all you get. Because you're ugly. So you're a bad person. Isn't that what we think? Attractiveness is synonymous with evil and good. Sinner and saint. That's what we lump in together with presentation. Talk to me. Is it not? So he thinks he can exploit you because you're a sinner. And you're a sinner because you're an ugly woman. You can't save me. That's what he's thinking. You're not pretty enough to redeem me. You're a devil. I'm going to slay this devil. I'm going to put this pitchfork in this devil right here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this devil out of her misery. Because she's only going to cause me to sin even more. Look at her face. This right here is a sin right here. Fucking you is a sin. So since I'm going to sin, I might as well treat you bad. Right? Right? You have to give the devil back his vanity. That is the only way you're going to come up out of this matrix. Black woman, nappy-headed woman, fat woman, dark-skinned woman, big-nosed woman, too masculine woman, whatever it is. You have to give the devil back vanity. Vanity is your prison. From the moment Eve ate the apple, she was aware of her nakedness. And things been downhill ever since. The only way a woman is manipulated is through her vanity. And when you give it back, when you make it a non-factor, guess what a man in your presence has to do then? He has to produce for you. He has to give you something tangible, something quantifiable, something you can use other than sweet nothings in your fucking ear. It has to be more than that, because saying nice things isn't food. Saying nice things is like having manners. It's like saying good morning. When you give back that vanity, then saying that you're beautiful is just like someone saying, good morning, how are you? It's not life-changing. It's not earth-shattering. It's neither here or there. If they didn't say it, it was okay. If they said it, it's okay too. That is the attitude that you have to adopt. Miss 432s, whoever you are, or whatever they think you are. And this message is for women who think they're unattractive, who've been told they're unattractive, who suspect they're unattractive, who have proof that they're unattractive, whatever category you want to put yourself in. Whatever ones you want to put yourself. Either you suspect it, you got receipts that you are, you've been told that you are, all of y'all are lumped into this category of ugly girl. And I want to desensitize you from that, because a lot of you are like, no, don't say that. We shouldn't say that about ourselves. When people are thinking it anyway. When every man who's trying to dig in your ass he's rating you. You want to deny in the mirror, but he's already rating you. And because you have denial, you believe the lie he tells you that you're an 8. That your beauty is unique. Isn't that what they say? You're a unique kind of beauty. The fuck does that mean? Unique meaning what? I uniquely take a shit every day. When I look back in the toilet and I see a turd in there, it never looks the same every day. I took a unique shit this morning. What does that mean? What does it mean? Miss P, I'm a poet. So excuse me, sometimes I don't know what I'm saying either. So you gotta excuse me. You have to excuse me. But you know what I mean. So much of our lives are not lived to its fullest because we're afraid we're not measuring up. We're so afraid to be different. All we do is mimic other women, and we're a poor imitation of other women. A woman that's a 4 is going to be a poor imitation of everybody. If you're a 4, you don't need to be imitating anybody. You're a 5, you don't need to be imitating anybody. And if you're a 6 either, truth be told, you don't need to be spending any time trying to look like her. Don't do it. Because you'll always look like a cheap knockoff of an original. That's what you end up looking like. And then you're categorized, and the categorization will be justified then, because you're looking like every other hoe out here. And a poor version of it. You have to accept yourself. I think that's what self-love is. Just accepting yourself. Flaws and all. It's not even about concealing flaws, more so than it is. It just is. It just is. When you try to conceal things, it's almost as if you give somebody you're giving authority over to the feelings of another person, because you're concealing because you're afraid of what someone else thinks. Stop giving people that kind of power. Stop giving people that kind of power. You have the right to say yay or nay to any offer. Don't I say that all the time? Some of you have etched in your brain that you don't have any authority over your life. None. And that is not true. It's not true. Do you deserve mistreatment because you're a woman who, at best, on a good day, when you clean up, you're only a 5? Does that mean that you deserve to be abused? Because some of you believe that that's so. You believe that's so. Is good treatment synonymous with the way you look? And there are plenty pretty girls to tell you, to substantiate what I just said. The no that I'm saying, there are pretty women that can back that up. Does attractiveness immunize you from mistreatment? No. No. It doesn't. But for some reason, we've been made to believe that a woman who looks like that will have a better life than me. Her life must be fabulous because she looks so good. She must get whatever she wants because she looks so good. A woman gets what she requires. A woman gets what she requires. And some women require a lot. Some of us require a little, based on how we feel. Based on how we feel. And what I want you to do, those of you women who have gone through life and had to navigate through it being turned down, right? Being turned down. Like the men who come at you, offer you little to nothing, and you just feel like there's no hope. I want you to decide today that you're the orchestrator of your life, and that you call the shots in your life, and that you are worthy of whatever it is you want. If you didn't want the Subway sandwich and you wanted a filet mignon, you say that. If what you're being offered is not adequate, you have to say that. You don't give, what we do, what women who don't think much of themselves do is give tacit approval. Oh, that's okay, and you know it's not okay. Because you're afraid to run people away. You're afraid to turn people off. If a person's not giving you what you need, and they know it, they're not turned on, They're not turned on. There's nothing you can't turn somebody off who ain't turned on. Don't be afraid to say no to people. I think that is the problem with women who are baseline attractive. It's like you're afraid to say no. And then you turn yourself into a proper cum dumpster because you're afraid you're going to miss an opportunity. And what opportunities have you missed by saying yes, by giving tacit approval? What opportunities have you missed? All those yeses that you gave, what did they amount to? What was the result? What was the grand total of all the yeses that you said yes to, that you should have said no to? Huh? Is loving yourself a crime? Is loving yourself a crime? Putting your interests and your well-being and being thoughtful about your body and what's in it and who has access to it, is that a crime because you don't look good enough to have stipulations and standards and fear. You know, some of us are being told that we're too ugly to be afraid of anything, that we should take a chance on everything. They'll say, what are you holding back for? Who you holding out for? Isn't that what they say? Which means you can risk it all, because you don't have nothing of value. Your life isn't valuable, so go ahead and risk it all. This is what they say. We have to do better. We have to do better. We have to be smarter. And I'm not saying book smart really here. I'm talking about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is what you need as a woman who is average in this world, or below average. You better have some emotional intelligence. You better study human nature. You better be a practitioner, a student of human nature, human behavior, because that's your fight. That's how you're going to get what you want. Because if they don't see this as valuable, then the next best thing that you have is this, you know. If you don't have this and you don't have this, then you have nothing. Then you have that Illuminati zero. That's what you have there. You have nothing. And we all have something. I haven't met any woman who had no value. I've never met a woman, and I've met some sluts. I've met some cum dumpsters, some chicks that need to be fumigated, and they still had wisdom underneath all the 5 million miles of road they've been through in their lives. They still had something to share, something to offer. So I really think we're all valuable. It's just a decision. It's a decision to be valuable. It's a decision to feel valuable. I hope they don't turn lesbian. Oh boy, we got jokes. We got jokes now. I've never been able to get anything of substance out of men. I'm not putting up with that shit anymore. Yes, Miss P. Yes, Miss P. And it's your decision. You have to shift your mentality. When your mentality shifts, your energy will shift. Your perspective will shift. Your conversation will shift. You know, and you'll be able to open the door and invite other opportunities into your life. When you've had enough, when you say enough is enough, that's when you make a change. Some of us just haven't been beat down hard enough to make the shift. Whatever we get, whatever we gotten, is what we were satisfied with. That's pretty much it. Whatever any of us have gotten is what we're satisfied with getting, and that's why we continue to get it. That's why we continue to get it. If you are saying, you know what, today is the day where all of that changes, where I'm going to do the best for myself, and I'm going to ooze that energy of opulence for myself, so that what I'm attracting to me understands when they see me, well, she looked like a 5, but she looked like she take care of herself, though. It's a difference. You're not treated like a charity case anymore. When he hears the first words out of your mouth, you go, wow, this chick is different. She doesn't have, her self-esteem ain't low like I thought. Wait a minute now. Okay, this might be a little more work. You want somebody to be surprised like that. You want them to be surprised like that. Like, oh, I thought this was gonna be easy. You actually got a little independent thought here. Go figure on that. Go figure on that. As your right, it is your right. It is your right. Shame to manipulate you into getting what they want. This is sad. Yeah. True. I've rolled with cum buckets who have provided me with more of an understanding about my purpose than the straight and narrow women. Shalom. Rock and Root. Rock and Root, are you a male or female? I can't tell by your name or the comment. Are you male or female? So, you know, that's what this thing is about. That's what this whole thing is about. It's really a decision. Self-esteem is a decision. It is not something that falls out of the sky. It doesn't fall from an apple tree and hit you over the head or anything, and all of a sudden, oh, I got self-esteem now. It is a decision. It's an action, a decision to say that I am worth something because of the fact that I'm alive. Because of the fact that I'm alive. Not because I look better than her or her. That's not self-esteem. That's what some of us call self-esteem. Depending on what room you're in, you feel good about yourself. And depending on what room you're in, you feel badly about yourself. That's not self-esteem. Self-esteem doesn't go like this. It is. It is. You can stand amongst beautiful women and hold your own. You can stand amongst women who may be perceived as lower than you and lift them up. And you're not diminished either way. You're not diminished either way. That's what it is. All men, I'm not talking about sexually. I don't know what you're talking about then. You said you rode with cum buckets. What does that mean? You've had sex with cum buckets? What does that mean? I'm not clear on your statement. They helped you understand your purpose. What's your purpose? What is your purpose? We all got to find our purpose. And like I was telling the sister today, this morning, you really have to cut the noise and have tunnel vision. Do you know what tunnel vision means? It means this: you're only looking ahead. Tunnel vision means you're only looking ahead. You're not looking this way. You're not looking that way. You're not looking up there, anywhere else. You're looking straight ahead into the direction that you want to go. And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. The critics will come, and you should expect them to come. You have to even predetermine how you're going to respond to them beforehand, because they're going to come. People are going to tell you, who do you think you are? Why do you think you deserve this? Who do you think you are? And some of us feel compelled to defend it. I'm not so much an advocate for defending my position. It is what it is. I knight my own self. I crown my own self. I'm not waiting on anybody else to do that. You have the authority to crown me, and I don't have the authority to crown me. How are you more of an authority to crown me than me myself? Who knows me better than me? That's the thing. That's the thing. So you got to ask yourself, what gives people the authority to say what it is they say about you? To think what they think about you? To assume what they assume about you? What gives them the authority to now demand that you agree with what they think? Because that's what people want. They want to think what they think about you, but they want you to agree with it. They don't want to be alone in their opinions about you, so you got to agree with them. Houseway, How? True, my friend told me exactly that. Who do you think you are? When I told her I was going on a 6-week vacation. The hate is real. Really? Well, where are you going? Where you going? I want to go with you. You going away for 6 weeks? You going globetrotting? Ooh, a 6-week vacation, that's a long time. Where are you going? So your friend said, who do you think you are? Thinking you could get out of Dodge, get out of the concrete jungle for 6 weeks. Don't I tell you, even your friends will do that? Even your friends are your enemies. Even your friends are your enemies. And women, oh my God, let me not start on women. We have a sickness and a disease called jealousy for each other. A sickness and a disease called jealousy for each other. It's hard for us to uplift each other. We are so full of diarrhea. Hot diarrhea. You know that hot diarrhea, like you ate hot sauce and your behind's gonna explode, like that kind of shit. Hot coming out your ass, hot. That's what we are. Not genuine at all. Everything is based on positioning, because every woman that you meet has a self-esteem issue. I don't care what she look like. Every woman you meet, you will meet today. You see at your job, at the grocery store, at church, at a revival. I don't give a shit where it is. Got a self-esteem issue. Her esteem is paper thin, and she's only stable depending on who's in the room. This is every woman that you meet. And this is why your friends keep you at bay. You know, you can't look as good as me. You know, I'm going to help you dress, but I'm going to make sure you ain't looking as good as me. I'm going to make sure that I help you dress. I'm going to help you to dress you for this club tonight, because I want to make sure you're not as cute as me tonight. I'm going to make sure of it. These are your fucking friends that do that. Your good friends, good girlfriends. Y'all drink together, talk shit together, holding each other's secrets. Both of y'all know where the body's buried, all of that. And she's still like, girl, you should wear the red one. And she know you look a hot mess in the red. She know you look a hot mess in the red one. She'll tell you, go wear the red one. Wear the red dress with the white shoes, with the white boots. Those plastic white boots. Girl, that's hot. You know that's hot, girl. And inside she's laughing. Laughing at you. And this is your friend. Something wrong with us. There's something really wrong with us. The psychosis, it's real. We don't help anybody unless we're not threatened by them. For a woman to help, she's got to feel that you're beneath her in a kind of way. It's that sick shit, you know. Women help other women that they feel are not on their level. Oh, she's a charity case. I'll help her out because she, she's a mess. I'll help her out. But if she feels threatened by you, you're not going to get a dime out of her. You're not going to get no assistance out of her. We are lunatics. Lunatics. Rockwood said, my purpose is private and it feels good to be aligned with a purpose, but my main point was the woman I was involved with that was deemed morally correct. I didn't get to this level. Well, Rock and Rude, I still don't know what you're saying. Your purpose is private. Okay, I still don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. You say you hung around cum dumpsters and stuff. And you're still not. I don't know what you're saying. When you decide not to be a poet and be straight, then we can then I can offer some pushback or something, but I don't even know what you mean. I saw shit like that at the Super Bowl. I was like, they aren't your friends, sis. Oh, really? This is what we do. Sisterhood is very. I'm really trying to see if this can be done. You know, I'm really trying to see if this can be done. But you know, I think for the most part, that wellness, the wellness, the esteem we're looking for, the balance, the emotional balance, and all that stuff. It has to do with what we consume, who we hang around, what we eat, what we do in our leisure. If we're satisfied in our lives, if we're striving towards a goal or something, I think all these things are crucial to being a vibrant woman and to being a woman who has the capacity to care about other people. I think if you have a fucked up diet, you can't care about anybody. Honestly, we can go around that point and up and down that point and to the side of that point and all that, but if health and what you're putting on your plate isn't a part of your overall, I want to be a better me, then you're not really serious. You're not really serious, because food alters your mentality. Your lifestyle will alter your mentality. The drinking that you do on the weekends, the alcohol is poison. You guys know that, right? Alcohol is a drug. It's a poison. It's not a food. There's a lot of things that we eat that are not really classified as foods. They're actually drugs, like salt and sugar. Oil is not a food. I did a post the other day stating that if the food that you eat you can't give to a baby or an elderly person, then you shouldn't eat it. If you can't give it to a baby, the baby can't eat it, nor an elderly person, then you should not be eating it. If you can't eat a bowl of it, then you also should not be eating it. Can't eat a bowl of salt. Can't eat a bowl of oil. Can't eat a bowl of sugar. Can't eat a bowl of vinegar. Can't eat a bowl of ketchup. You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole overhaul. When we're looking to change our state, change our lives, change the results that we're getting, it's a whole overhaul. And your health is a big. Health is like 90% of this whole thing. It's like 90% of this whole thing. A lot of the reasons why most of us are unattractive is because we live unhealthy lifestyles. It's not even the fact of features or anything like that. It's that you're eating junk and you're not taking care of yourself, and it's showing on the outside. You would feel better about yourself if you did the right thing for yourself. And in doing the right thing for yourself and in conveying that you feel better about yourself, the people that come with offers that aren't in line with you feeling better about yourself, you reject it. But you're not going to be in a space to reject the offer that's detrimental to you if you're doing things that are detrimental to yourself. It's really as simple as that. Any offer that comes to you that is detrimental to you is going to be in line with your lifestyle and what you're already doing. If you're smoking and drinking and stuff, you're going to have this discernment or the wherewithal to say, no, that's not right. No, you're not, because your whole life is a not right. You're living a not right every day. So a man coming along wanting to ejaculate on your cervix for free is not going to be a real offense. That's just adding on to the not right that you're already doing. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Don't eat anything you can't give your 1-year-old baby. Don't do it. Salkis, that sounds bland. That don't sound exciting. It sure don't. And I'm not going to paint no picture like it's easy and that it's enjoyable and everything. It's a deprogramming. And there's a lot of pain involved in deprogramming ourselves. A whole lot of pain involved in that. But I see people dropping like flies every single day. I see people suffering from illnesses, both mental and physical, every day because of what they're consuming. Because of lifestyle, because of too much addicted to sex, alcohol, drugs, and food. People are losing their lives because of addictions. And that's more painful than, not eating salt. Losing a limb, that's more painful than saying I can't have anything with sugar in it ever again. It's choices. It's choices. People are dropping like flies. Who was it? The guy from The Young and the Restless that just died. I just saw in my feed that he passed away today. I forgot. Oh God, what was this character name? Oh man, I forgot the name. But he was on there a long time, and I think he was battling some mental health issues, alcohol problems. I forgot his damn name though. Maybe y'all that watch The Young and the Restless know what I'm talking about. So it was like, wow, he went 52. And they say, his death was alcohol related. Sad. But, he had some mental things going on. And I remember seeing him at a Whole Foods when, in the Valley out here in California. I remember seeing him shopping, and I was looking at him like, oh, that's what's his name? Tall brother, handsome. And now he's gone. You know how many people suffering from depression? The sister that I talked to today, I'm depressed. I said, you're not depressed, you're dissatisfied. We need to change this narrative, because saying we're depressed is now, it's like the end thing. It's like some kind of fucking fad. Everybody's goddamn depressed. No, you're dissatisfied with your life. So we gotta figure out a way to change things. A way to modify and change things. How's your diet? What are you doing to accomplish your goals? What's your environment like? What's your living situation? Oh, it's not ideal, so let's devise a plan to get you out of it. What's the working plan? What's the step? What's the step you're going to do today? Well, I want to start a business. Well, you got to do X, Y, Z. You got to do X, Y, Z. Some of us have too much fucking free time. That's why you're depressed. You have too much free time. You're stuffing your face with chips and queso dip and smoking weed and doing all kinds of nothing. That's why you're depressed. Too much time on your hands. Too much time on your hands. And this stuff you have to do. We gotta change the world in the way we can. Some of us are world changers. We're born to change people's lives, and you're sitting around eating chips talking about, I don't feel like getting out of bed. What path are you going to choose? What path are you going to choose here? Are you going to look on the bright side or the dark side? What are you going to choose? Salkis, I would love for you to give us some type of meals that you eat at least a day if you can. There's no meals going on right now. It's just raw foods. Salads. I don't do dressings or anything with oils because I'm not eating the salts or any oils, any unnatural refined oils, which is what most of the dressings are. So you could, if you want a fat source, you can do avocado. You can do maybe some raw nuts. You can get a hold of them as your fat source. Seeds like sesame seeds, good in calcium and stuff like that. What else? The bromide from Dr. Sebi is my staple every day. I take that. It'll boost your immune system. It will clean out your blood. If you have any kind of issues with constipation, maybe frequent urination or something like that, that stuff will level you out. Depending on, again, what you put in. What you put in. Thank you. Thank you, sis. So that will be a staple. Get you the sea moss. They call it bromide now from Dr. CB or D Herbs. D Herbs has a sea moss that's pretty much, I would say, the same constitution, and that's a meal replacer. Do not drink juice. Would be my other recommendation. Juice. The box juices are syrup. That's all they are. They're empty calories. They're heated. They're reconstituted fruit that's been heated and then rehydrated with water and everything. So it's just sugar water. It's just sugar water. There's no nutritional value in packaged juices. So do not drink that. My recommendation is just water. Any type of water, really. You don't have to go Avion, that expensive ass Avion water, really. Any type of water, your liver will alkalize the water. And actually, I find that the cheaper the water is, the more it flushes. The Kroger brand, if y'all, I don't know if y'all, wherever y'all are, if you have Kroger's, Ralph's, or whatever, that just the regular, their name brand water, to me, is more effective. I bought expensive water and cheap water. And to me, when I'm taking herbs, I find that the cheap water is more effective. Just saying. Some people say spring water. I've done distilled. Get you that cheap water and be done with it. Just drink your water. That would be one of the biggest things. And what else? Try to eat food in its natural state. Frying food, let me tell you what frying foods do. Frying foods chokes your blood cells. It robs your blood of oxygen. It makes your blood sticky. Okay? Makes the blood sticky, makes the cells move slowly, and the cells are unable to move the waste out of your blood. That's what fried foods do. So if there was one tip that I could give you, it would be, don't eat anything fried. Boil it, bake it, get you an air fryer so that you don't have to put oil in your stuff. Get an air fryer. They're like $100, less than $100, at Best Buy or somewhere, and do that instead of deep frying your food, because frying your food is going to mess up your blood, your liver. You're going to get that fatty liver thing going on, and you're not going to be able to get rid of the waste that you need to. So that would be my recommendation. That would be it. Water and Vital Cocoa is all I do. Oh, okay, well then you're good. You're good. It's easy to be unattractive, I have found. It's easier to focus, go about your day unbothered. Do you believe that? Are you convincing yourself of that? Have you convinced yourself that being unattractive is easier? That's your selling point? I get it. A lot of us we come up with a lot of excuses. A lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Ways to deal with our insecurities. We come up with colorful excuses to deal with our insecurities. A statement like that is what women who gain a lot of weight so men don't look at them, that's the same thing they do too. Subconsciously, they're like, well, if I'm unattractive, people won't hurt me. They'll just leave me alone. They won't hurt me. So I don't know about easier. If you're not getting what you want, how can life be easy if you don't get what you want? You still want to get what you want. That's the whole point of this. It's not having a defeatist attitude. It's not having an attitude that what you want is impossible or improbable. It's living with the expectation that you're entitled to enjoy your life. You're entitled to a full life. You're entitled to a full, happy life just like anybody else. But we've been propagated to and pushed down on, like, this is, you belong down here, bitch. Get down there. You're ugly ass, you get down here. Lick my boots, bitch. That's what people will say. And we crawl around on the ground, waiting on crumbs to fall. Waiting on people to drop crumbs on the floor for us. That's how some of us live. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't want you to be invisible. I don't want you to be invisible. I want you to make a name for yourself. I want you to be known. I want people to know who you are. I want you to not be afraid to tell people who you are. To command the attention, to command that, okay, I'm in the house. My self-worth is fixed. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. That's what I want us to do. Not to be invisible. No. Not to be invisible. Because if you're trying to change the world, how are you going to do that if you're invisible? If you want to care for people, how are you going to do that if you're invisible? If you want a good life, however that may be, you can't do that being invisible. Someone has to see you. No. Not at all. Not at all. Walmart, great value, spring water. Yeah, no fluoride. Don't do the fluoride. Stay away from the fluoride too. That's a behavior modificator. Fluoride stuff. Y'all, so much of what we do is bad. So much of what we do corrupts our minds and our bodies. Everything, really. Everything that we think is normal, from the sex that we're having to the food that we eat, is corrupted. Everything. Men obsessed with butts, that's an unnatural thing. How we have sex is even corrupt. We don't even have heterosexual sex. Not really. Men watching porn and all that stuff, they think that's heterosexual. There's nothing heterosexual about porn. I've said that before. Sex, for the most part, is violent. Sex is a violent act. It's not an act of praise and worship of each other and exchanging of love with each other. It's an act of violence. You just rape each other. Because that's what you're doing. If you don't know who he is and he doesn't know who you are and he's not bothered to know who you are, he doesn't care about you and you don't really care about him, then you're raping each other. Talk to me. You're raping each other. That's what you're doing. You can nice it up anyhow you want, but that's what it is. You're violating each other's bodies. And you wonder why you're crazy? You wonder why you're depressed? You wonder why you have brain fog and you can't think and concentrate on anything? You don't have to wonder anymore. You don't have to wonder anymore. That's what it is. Everything we know to be right is wrong. Everything. Everything. So, that being said, if y'all don't have any more questions, I will wrap it up for this live. Incubus, succubus. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you're not praying over each other and mentally in a space where you want the best for each other before you have sex, you're soul snatching. That's what you're doing. You're soul snatching. This ain't nothing to play with. This is why a lot of women in particular are out of their minds. The reason why a lot of us are out of our minds is because we have too many sexual partners. Too much sperm cells on your brain. That's why you're crazy. Too many sexual partners. We're not designed for all of that. We're not designed for all the sex that we're having with all these different men. I know birth control makes you think that you are, but you're not. You're not. It is unnatural. It is unnatural. Just like sex drive is unnatural. You don't see these indigenous tribes in Africa talking about sex drive. They have a season where they have sex. There's a birth season where babies are born seasonally. Just like everything is a rotation, an ebb and a flow. Winter, spring, summer, fall. There's a season for babies to be born. There is no such thing as sex drive. Oh, I gotta have sex 3 times a week. You don't see that in Africa. You don't see those women walking around, oh, I'm depressed because he doesn't pay attention to me. I'm depressed because he doesn't think I'm sexy. I'm depressed because they say my nose is big. You don't see women out there having self-esteem issues around the way they look, or being pressured to have sex all the time. You don't see that. Oh, it was Neil, yes. Neil was his name, yes. Safe journeys, Neil. I feel bad for the guy. But we are afflicted with all kinds of unnatural things. Unnatural thinking, around sharing of the bodies with another person. I am celibate here, not going for the... Oh, well, good for you, Miss P. Good for you. Women in Africa have high standards. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. They are so secure. Hey, I'm glad you were able to see it. And you need to convey it to all of your girlfriends, anybody you care about, any woman that you care about. Let them know. Let them know, like, y'all, we got it wrong. We got this game all wrong. We got this thing all wrong. We caught up in looks and all that stuff, and that's not our way. That's not the black woman way. That's not our way. But it's turning into that. You see African chicks twerking and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, oh, they done got y'all too. The devil is there too now. The devil is there too. Hey, Black Nature. Hey, Queen of Crossroads. I just got out of school. I'll be watching the replay. Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. So, yeah, we got to go back to nature's way of thinking. And we can't think naturally if we're not eating naturally. Like I said, there's no possible way you can start thinking in your right mind if you're not consuming the right things. The alcohol, the drugs, in general, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. If you want to be mentally astute, mentally sharp, and you have to be, if you're a woman who's not a 10 or a 9 or 8, if you are a 5 on the scale, pretending to be a 7, you have to be mentally sharp. You don't need to be inebriated at no point in any negotiation, in any conversation. You need to always have your wits about you. You need to always be 360 and around you. Always. Because I said before that your position in life is one of life or death. You should be looking at everything as life or death with you. Because nobody's making concessions for you. Nobody's giving you the benefit of a doubt. When you're an unattractive woman, you've already been rated as a sinner, you know. Didn't I just say that? When you are an unattractive woman, you're already deemed a sinner. This is why they're okay with abusing you. Because there's nothing good about you, according to them. So you don't need to be sitting there thinking that, oh, it's all right, because you're drunk. It ain't that bad because you nice and high. You can't afford to be high. You cannot afford to be high in any sense of the word. You need all your wits about you. All your wits about you. Casual what? Nothing about you is casual. Nothing. Not you. Not you as an ugly woman. Nothing about what you do, what you accept is casual. And I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it. Sober-minded and focused. Yes. Yes, you better be. I go and I peruse my my Facebook page and I look at people's statuses and see this one drinking and that one drinking. And I'm like, really? How Sway? Drinking? Listen. No. That's not your lane. That's not your lane. Good time. Good times. A good time for me is knowing exactly what was said, who said it. I want to know, how they look when they said it. I like observing people and stuff. That's a good time for me. I don't want to never get home and be like, what did they say? Well, I'm not sure. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I got to be able to replay everything in my mind. I can't afford that. Especially if I'm called to make a decision based on what I've experienced and half of it I was drunk for. But this is what women do. This is what women do. You get drunk to loosen up. You know what? You know why you get drunk? You get drunk so you can be your authentic self. So that you're not afraid to say what you feel, to say what you think. That's why your ass drinks. That's why you get drunk. Because that's the only time you could be who you really are. Because you're not aware enough to be afraid to be who you are when you're drunk. That's why you do it. That's why you get high. That's why you do the alcohol and whatever else you do. Because that's the only time you're not afraid. That liquid courage, as they say. And it's not courage at all. It's not courage at all. Not even a little bit. You're afraid to show your personality unless you're unaware that you're doing it. You have to be drunk enough to show your personality. But I get the appeal in that too, because people are attracted to, people like to be around drunk people because they say all kinds of shit. They say all kinds of funny stuff. There's no filter. Then you get to be yourself because this person isn't holding back. So it's fun to be around inebriated people. It's fun. But not really. Not really. They call it uninhibited. Yeah. That's what they call it. Uninhibited. But you really are, because you need to be drunk to do it. You need to be drunk to do it. What Whitney Houston's character said in Waiting to Exhale at Gloria's birthday, if you're ugly inside, you're ugly outside. Thus, I'd rarely ever see spiritual beauty in people anyway. Yeah, if you're ugly inside, you'll be ugly outside too. That is it. That is true. That is true. But what I really want to impart on us is that some of us are not going to measure up, right, to what is expected. Some of us won't, no matter how kind we are, no matter how conscientious we are, no matter how responsible we are. We're not going to measure up. And we have to be all right with that. We have to not let it diminish our expectations. That's the thing. Cinnamon, you have a question? Ask your question, lady. How can you naturally bring your inhibitions down? How can you naturally bring your inhibitions down? You just decide to do it. You just decide that what you're doing and how you're being is not for a result. We have inhibitions because we want to control the results of things, of how people respond and how they act. When you get out of trying to control the result or what people think, when you divorce yourself from the responsibility of wanting to control what people think, then you can start being yourself. It really is as simple as that. You cannot control, the first order of business is to understand you cannot control what people think. Get that in your head. You can't. You can't. No matter if you close your mouth or open your mouth, people are going to assume what they're going to assume about you anyway. And they're more than likely going to get it wrong anyway too. So you divorce yourself from being responsible for that. That's the way to get uninhibited. I'm not responsible for the way you feel. As simple as that. I recall an interview Remy Ma did when she got home from prison where she shared some of her prohibits was not to touch alcohol at a party and don't be in a photo with someone holding a drink. Oh, she had alcohol problems? I didn't know that. My friend always makes backhand comments and compares her looks to mine. She makes me feel insecure because of her backhanded comments. What does that mean? It means your friend is competing with you. Just what I've been saying in this live. This is what women do with each other. This is what friends do. Expect this. This is what women do. It's expected. Expected. She's intimidated by you, and her worth is contingent upon her diminishing you. The reason why she makes backhanded comments is because she has anxiety. She has anxiety around how you look compared to how she looks. So in order to release or relieve the anxiety, she has to insult you. It's a way for her to release her own fear and anxiety. That's why she does it. That's why she does it. She has to, it builds up in her, and she has to let it go. So the way to dump it is to put it on you, to make you feel bad. That's what's going on there. That's what's going on there. But she's in competition with you. That's how friends are. He says, sigh, thank you. It is what it is. And it's not that you have to stop associating with her or anything like that. People are people. Accept people for what they are. Stop assuming people have to be like you, think like you, and all these things that we think people are. People are just people. People are just people at the end of the day. The sister that I was talking to earlier today, she needed assistance and her own family turned their back. This is what people do. This is what people do. So don't be surprised. And furthermore, don't be surprised at what anybody does. You think about what you've done in your life and what you've done to people. And you're still surprised. Don't ever be surprised about what people do. Why do black men want black women to be so insecure about interracial dating? I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. They want black women to feel insecure about interracial dating. Listen, some of us are campaigning for black women to expand their options and to see what's on the other side of the grass and different routes, because there supposedly are other men who are just waiting for an opportunity to be with us, supposedly. I don't know. I can't speak to the validity of that. I can only speak to what I see, and I don't see too many men saying, we're here, we're waiting with open arms for you guys. Where are you? I only see black women saying that, there are all these men out here waiting on us. I don't see these men that they say that want us saying, we're waiting for you. I don't see any of them doing that. So I question the validity of the popularity of it or the ease of it, because some of them are selling it as an easy fix to being single. Just go to another race and everything will be all right. Just date outside of your race. I don't think there's any value in dating. I'll just say that. In case anybody's unsure about my position on that, I don't think you dating anybody is of value. You being a date, you're a placeholder. That's all you are. So if you're dating outside of your race and you have a white man here, Asian man here, and you're dating all these men, you think there's some sort of value in that. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I see it as you're for the moment, you're enjoying the moment for whatever the moment is, and everybody's going to move on eventually. So, the praise that people give towards dating and having a choice of who to date, I don't understand it. I don't get it. There's no intrinsic value in being any man's girlfriend. None. You are temporary. You are a girlfriend means you're for right now, you're not forever. That's what it is. That's what it is. So as far as the shame of it goes, I've seen it on both ends. I've seen black women saying, these men only want such and such, and so I can't really say it's on one side. I hear both sides making arguments about self-hate on the other side, and you have to decide what your motives are, what you can live with. Don't go for trends, don't do the trends thing. Just think about it. Think about it. Just think about it. Never assume that anyone has to be like me or even like me yet. There's common decency and sane reasoning that most of us were raised with. Come on, etiquette. No, you're still reaching. You're still thinking that people are like you. Don't expect that, and then you won't be surprised. Don't expect that, and you won't be surprised. Expect people to be who they are. The only expectation you should ever have in meeting anybody is to expect to see who they are. That's all I'm going to expect. When I'm talking to anybody about anything, I'm expecting to see who they are. I'm not expecting you to agree with me. I'm not expecting you to have the same value system as me, the same quirks and hang-ups, things you will do, won't do. I'm not expecting you to be a mirror to me. Let's stop that. And then we'll be less disappointed. That's just my take on it. That's just my take on that. Do you think women should be active in dating, or do you think women should wait for a man to come into their life by God? I don't believe you should wait on... I don't believe in waiting on a force or anything to put somebody in your life. But I also don't believe in approaching men. I believe there's a high rate of unsuccessfulness with that, especially if you are an average looking woman. You don't want to be the pursuer. As a woman, if you're the pursuer, you're not the prize. And that's just it. If you want to be the prize, you can't pursue and be the prize too. It doesn't work like that. A prize is something you go after. It's something you obtain after hard work. That's what a prize is. How can you be that if you're approaching him and you're giving to him and you're offering to him and you're having sex with him and you're doing everything that he's supposed to be doing? You don't have a position where you could be a prize. And that's an issue. We have to see how much motivation and interest he has. So his pursuit is very necessary and very vital When you are, especially when you're an average looking woman, you can't afford to put the pants on. Mm-mm. You cannot afford to put the pants on. You can be unattractive. You don't have to act unattractive. And acting unattractive is acting desperate. It's acting desperate. It's acting like you don't have a choice. It's acting like a pick-me, like just give me whatever you got. That's acting ugly. You can be unattractive and still act like you have self-worth. You have to act like it. A lot of us don't, though. A lot of us do not. I used to be desperate for love. I'm chilling now. Well, good for you, Sierra. Good for you. So many women are pursuing nowadays. It's almost disgusting. And they can't. And they are. And this is why a lot of men saying, for the most part, that they don't have to pursue women anymore. The women come to them, you know, and they boast about that. They like, I just sit back and let the numbers come. I sit back and let her call, or let them come to me. I'm not chasing no woman. This is what they brag about now. And that's fine. That's fine. Listen, what anybody does doesn't concern you. I need for you ladies to understand that. Don't feel pressured to follow any status quo. Just because he's saying that he doesn't have to, because no woman he's with, he's had to chase, doesn't mean that you follow suit. It doesn't mean you have to follow suit. You don't win any points for following suit. You don't win his respect, admiration, or love for following suit. If that was the case, conforming to what he already knows, if that was the case, if the case was more than likely you'd win his heart, I'd say go for it and do it. But you don't win anything. There's nothing you gain. There's nothing you gain by imitating making it easy for him. There's nothing you gain. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah, the roles are reversed. The roles are reversed, and you just gotta you sit back and watch. Because any man who wants you to come to him is not a man who's going to defend you. Any man who wants you to come to him is not a man that's going to provide for you. Any man that wants you to come to him is not a man who's going to make sure that you're safe. Make sure that your needs are met. If there's a crash at the door in the middle of the night, he'll expect you to get the bat and go see what's going on rather than him. He's not going to make sure he puts you out of harm's way. Any man with that kind of mentality is not going to see about you. He's not. He's not, because he's coming with you're just like me. There's no difference between us two. Men that have that sort of mentality that you're just like me, they're not real men. they're not real men. They can say what they want, you know. There's a lot of campaigns now, especially on social media, where men are teaching other men how to get something for nothing. That's all the rage now. How to get ass for nothing, teaching men game. There's big money in that. Teaching unattractive men how to bag up women is big money. Teaching simps how to be unsimplified, how to be alpha males, is big business now. Big business now. You get out of their way, though. What you do is get out of their way. You don't even play into that game. You go, what? Is that what they're doing now? I had no idea. Like, you don't have a thought on it. You don't have an opinion about it. I never knew that. Wow, that's interesting. And let's go. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I hate when they blame women for their issues. We all blame each other. It is after reading Dr. Richard King's book on melanin and Dr. Jill Pookram's videos here, it's like Our divine biology via hospitals, labs, clinics, how melatonin is made. I like Dr. Jewel too. Okay. So, oh man, that's deep. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. So that's what it is though. We don't fight with people who don't want to fight for us. You don't have to fight to convince any man to be what he doesn't want to be for you. That's not what we do here. That's more work. That's more work and more opportunity for usury. That's all that is. You don't fight with that. If he has that mentality, you just get out of his way. Go, I'm sorry. I had you pegged with somebody else. I thought you was something else. I won't even waste your time, brother. I won't allow you to waste your time with me. I'm not the one. And leave it at that. It's true. Sleeping with multiple women doesn't make a man a real man. Unfortunately, many women are falling for it. Yeah, it's unfortunate many women are falling for it, but the curse and the blessing that social media is, many women are at least being aware of other perspectives out here, and their beliefs are being challenged by women like myself who are concerned enough to come out here and tell them, listen, don't go that route. So the blessing and the curse of it now is that women have access to information, because the women that I coach, and for those of you who are on here who don't know that I coach, I am a coach. I am a life coach, self-love coach, whatever you want to call it. This is what I do, along with my artistry and other services that I give. But the women that I talk to, most of them don't have good relationships with other women, be it their mothers, siblings, early childhood stuff going on. A lot of women that I coach, especially young women, like 25, 30, 20 to 30 range, have horrible relationships with their mothers. They don't have mature women in their lives to guide them. They never had a mother figure to tell them, look, this is how this game, avoid this, do that, this is here, that's here, this. Nobody's in their lives doing it, so they're trying to they're figuring it out on their own, and that's an unnatural. The system of mating that we have here in our society is all wonky anyway, because it has you as a woman. If you're 22, you're deciding on a relationship without another set of eyes. You're just deciding on it. It sounds good. It gives me butterflies. He looks good. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if it'll work. And more times than not, the mother and the father and the people that love her, that are concerned about her well-being, don't get to find out she's even with somebody until after she slept with him. So she's not asking for approval. There's nobody that she needs approval from to even mate with this person. He's basically dealing with her without any consequence, because there's no brother, there's no buffer, and there's no big brother to tell him, listen, this is our girl here, what you want. Like there's nothing. So he can abuse her because it's like she's alone. It's like she's alone. So that right there in itself is a little wonky. No woman should be deciding on relationships by herself. No woman, because you're seeing it through emotional eyes. Through emotional eyes. You're not seeing it practical. You're not seeing it as it is. You're seeing it blinded. So you're going to see it wrong. That's why we have all this messed up stuff now. If there was a coalition, every woman had a coalition of women that the man that was interested in her had to answer to, it'd be a lot less garbage going on. It'll be a lot less bastard babies around here, because he'd have to come up with what he needed to come up with to get access to her. But she's alone. She's coming as her own representative. She's not coming as a woman who is loved by people, who he has to make sure that he doesn't do wrong because these other people are going to get in his face and see about his ass. There's none of that. She's just coming alone with the little intellect she has, the little knowledge she has, little pieces here and there that she get from her dumbass friends, you know, and she doesn't confer with anybody until after he breaks her heart. That's when everyone knows. That's when she needs the opinions of everybody. When, after he breaks her heart, then she wants everybody's input. And it's the wrong way to do things. No woman should make a decision on relationships by herself. But we're independent. That's what we're taught. We're independent. We could, you know, we could do this on our own, you know. It's all on you. You do what you want to do. You sleep with who you want. You ain't got to wait on nobody to say yes. You're a sovereign being and all that. And this is the result. This is the result of that. This is the result. I tell my daughters that, you know, I'm still responsible for you. I'm here as another set of eyes for you. You shouldn't be trying to, you're inexperienced. I don't expect you to make a sound decision. Not without me. I don't expect you to make the right decision without conferring with me. I don't. And any of you that are mothers to teenage girls or young adults, don't have her making decisions on her own. You got to step in there and say, listen, oh, you like him? Well, what is it about him? Let me meet him and let's have a meet. Let's have a meetup. Let's have a dinner all together. Let me sit down and look in his eyes and, you know, ask him a few questions, talk to him, see what's going on too. Let me help you make the decision. But we leave women to their own, you know, we leave women to figure it out on their own. And we make the mistakes, we will. And then the men call us stupid afterwards. Because that's what we are. The men call us dumb. Oh, you didn't see that coming? You believed him when he said that? And da, 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 da. Isn't that what they say? You need a coalition. So listen, if any of y'all trying to get into a relationship and you want some advice before things go any further, you're getting ready to have sex with him or whatever the case is and you're not sure, you better call me. You better confer with me. I'm your coalition on this thing. If you want the truth, if you want me to break it down to an organic compound for that ass, that's my job. That's what I get paid to do. To confer and counsel. To confer and give counsel. I don't expect no woman should do it on her own. No woman should do it on her own. We're all blinded by our emotions. All of us. All of us. So the chances of us making the mistake are great. And men profit from our mistakes. That's how they get vagina that they're not supposed to be getting, because we make mistakes. So although they complain about us being fools, if we weren't, you wouldn't get no pussy. So it works out. You know, they have fake outrage too. Men have fake outrage for our supposed lack of discernment. And this whole, you know, you just pick wrong, you just choose wrong and all that stuff. When every woman you fucked for the past 6 months chose you wrong too. If she wasn't on a choose wrong campaign, you'd get no ass. You get none. Because every woman that you wanted behind from would require you to come up with more than what you coming up with. The only reason why you can have casual sex is because women are picking wrong. So men are profiting from our wrong picking. They don't have an issue with it. Don't believe that shit. Please don't believe that men have a problem with your promiscuity. Men don't have a problem with you being a fool out here. They expect it. They hope for it. And nowadays, more than ever before, they want it. They want you to be a fool. They want you to be a fool because that's the only way they get some vagina. They get some free vagina, free tail. Free tail. Free tail over here. Free tail. Please. Women need to be concerned with the well-being of other women. Instead of jealous, malicious, jealous, backbiting, gossiping, we need to be concerned. And then if we were really concerned, there'd be less heartbreak out here. And I'm talking about mothers to daughters, sisters to sisters, friends to friends. My mom is quick to kick me out the house, but allow a man to stay despite the disrespect he gives her. Wow. See that, you know, this right there. That's what I'm talking about. This is what having sex does. It causes us to be crazy. It causes us to make irrational decisions. Sex. Sex. The average woman is depressed, has low self-esteem, and batshit crazy because of sex. It ain't nothing else. You trying to figure out what it is? It's because of sex. All the empty sex she's has had in her life. All the toxic sperm. All the men who didn't care about her. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. That's what happens. We only trust you, Salkis. Listen, trust yourself. I want you to trust your instincts. That's what I want you to develop trust in yourself. Because we all have God within us. We all have internal wisdom. We all have that feeling when something isn't right. We all have the feeling. We've all been in relationships or started relationships. And we in the car and the nigga driving you home and you like, I don't know. You saying to yourself, I don't know. And then you second guess it. Then you second guess it. Then a relationship starts that never should have. And then it goes in the toilet from there. There's a God in all of you. All of you women. All of you. Learn to trust your instincts. If you don't have facts, let me say this. If you don't have facts, trust what you feel then. Trust what you feel. If something doesn't feel right, pause. Pump your brakes. Don't go 1 inch further. Not 1 inch further. No benefit of a doubt. Listen, I don't know what's going on here, but something doesn't feel right. Something stinks in here, and I don't know what it is, but I'm not moving no further until I know what's going on. So if you don't have a fact, but you have a feeling, go with your feeling. Make a move on your feeling. That's how you do. And then you work out the particulars after that. Work out your particulars after that. If he says, well, what makes you think, I didn't give you proof and you don't know, and how you know? Tell him God told you. Like, something ain't right. I don't really think he liked me. I don't really think, and I don't really think. Has that I don't really think feeling ever been wrong? Has the I don't really think this is, and I don't really think, has the I don't really think ever been wrong? Ever. Ever. So you have to learn to have a relationship of trust with yourself. The only way you're going to develop discernment, because discernment is a muscle. It's a muscle you gotta work on. You gotta build up that muscle of discernment. And the only way you build it up and strengthen it And strengthen that muscle is by being honest with yourself. That means that if you're a 5 on the beauty scale, you say it. You know, it starts there. We go back to the theme of this whole live. It means that if you're a 4, a 3, or a 5, you say it. And you don't say it thinking that it diminishes you. You say it because your goal is to be 100% honest with yourself about everything that you fucking feel. You don't have to confess to me or anybody. You don't have to be honest with anybody, but you're going to be honest with yourself. You're going to be honest with yourself first and foremost. I'm not going to lie to me anymore, because I know that if I lie to me, then everybody else is going to lie to me, and I'm not going to know that it's a lie. So I'm going to stop lying to me. Ami says you're a 7.5. All right, 7.5. I'm a 5. I think I'm a 5. Maybe a 6 on a good lip gloss day. Most of the times I wake up a 4. So it fluctuates, depending on what part of the day I'm in. Depending on what part of the day I'm in. It's all right. It doesn't diminish me, because I'm not defined by that. My fabulousness goes on so many levels to this fabulousness. There's so much life-changing essence in me. I change lives. So I'm not concerned with being an 8, 9, or a 10. I can't be. I don't have no time for that. I have no time for that. So you be honest about that. That's the first order of business. Salkis, can you please have a seminar? I'd love to meet you all. I had talked about that before the year had ended. Maybe doing a meetup or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Women love my handsome chocolate face and body. I'm a 6 for my nerves. I feel bad for the 9s and 10s. I would love to meet you, Miss Salkis, and everybody. Is that right? If we go by the European standard of beauty, then I'm a 2. If we're going by African standard of truth, I'm an 11. All right. Woo! All right. And if we go by American standards, which is where you reside, what are you there? What are you on the soil that you eat on? What are you there? It doesn't matter if it fluctuates either. You know, it can, depending on what arena that you're in. But the point is this: it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to get across to some of you women, some of you will accept this and some of you will block it because it's just too painful. And I get it. I get it. But the point is that you have to take it away. You have to take it away. This is the only way you're going to regain power over yourself. You have to move it out. You have to make it your vanity is not a bargaining chip. Nobody can sell you no dream about how you this or that. Nobody can sell you anything because it's a non-factor. Because it really does not matter. It really doesn't matter. So that also means that there's got to be something else about you of value. When you're a 4, 3, or 2, there's got to be something else about. Listen, I've done other videos where I said the reason why men ask what you bring to the table is when you're average or unattractive, usually they'll ask you that. Because you have to supplement what you lack in looks with some sort of resource or something to bump your 5 up back up to a 7 or possibly an 8, depending on how much you're coming with. This is why men generally ask that. And there are other women that they'll ask, what can I do for you? There are women that get asked, what can I do for you? And there are women that get asked, how much do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? There's a difference in the two. A lot of men say they're settling. A lot of men have settled for you ladies on this live. Everybody on this live, including myself, have been a woman that a man settled for. I was not the dream to him, but I was a tryout. My life was used as a tryout, as a something to do until something else comes along. A lot of you are in that same boat because you allow somebody to give you hope. You allow them to sell you on something that you suspected that wasn't true, but you wanted to believe that it was. That's how you got caught. That's how you got caught. So you gotta, you know, you gotta admit it. Address the elephant in the room so you can move on to more tangible things. So you can move on to more tangible things. Placeholder, yes. Lisa Ray said, I bought the table. I love her. Hey, she did buy the table. Didn't she get scammed out of millions of dollars from that fake prime minister of what was it? Not Barbados, Turks and Caicos. Some fake ass prime minister scammed her out all her damn money. Vanity. Why? How was he able to do that? How was he able to do that? You see what I'm saying? Do you see why even you attractive girls got to take that shit off the table? I'm talking to my ugly sisters, the 5s, the 4s, the 3s like me. But it goes for all of us. It goes for all of us. This is how we get scammed. This is how we get scammed. So listen, you take what I'm saying, or you reject it, go on with thinking how you're thinking, hop on to another live video, you know, I don't know, they tell you how to do your makeup so you can get a rich man, a rich sugar daddy or something like that, and just, you know, try to piece it together and figure it out. Or you could take this black pill, rebuild your life in a way where you are truly empowered so that you can have a higher success rate with all the other frivolities that you want to get into. Because you ain't bagging nobody with no low self-esteem. I don't care what you do. The foundation is self-esteem, no matter what route you go. No matter what route you go. Not self-image. Not self-image. Not how you dress. I'm talking about self-esteem. The two are not the same. Self-image and self-esteem are not the same. They're not. I'm only telling you what it took me my whole life to learn. That's all. That's all I offer. You take it or not. You're pretty and what else? Yeah. I'm never impressed with a guy's looks. No, that's another thing. You shouldn't get emotional over nobody's looks. Women get emotional over looks. We get emotional over other women who look pretty. We get emotional over men who look attractive. We get all in our feelings. All in our feelings. Don't do it. Lisa Ray being a Libra, it's wonder she didn't catch that early. Per the rumors, he was awful for getting with that Roxy person. Who's Roxy? Who's a I don't know who Roxy is. Who's Roxy? I'm a dream man to women. They go crazy when I'm shirtless jogging around the town, sweat dripping down my dark chocolate abs and handsome face. You are really needing attention, 7:30. Is that what you're here for? Are you recruiting? Are you recruiting? Because you're a little corny. You're a little corny. Little needy, little desperate. Sound a little desperate and needy too. You probably get no vagina. I'm pretty sure you get no action. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if you were getting vagina. Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad now. Anybody wants to give him some charity pussy? Because that must be what he's campaigning. Are you here for some Red Cross vagina? He wants some Red Cross. He wants some Red Cross ass. Donate some ass to 7:30. Somebody, please. Damn it, Salkis Re, please have mercy. I am. I know it's cliche, but beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. Thus, Bumpy Johnson is fine to me. Johnson is handsome. Listen, I have a thing for Forrest Whitaker, so I understand what you're talking about. He's like one of my secret crushes, Forrest Whitaker, and he's not, he's what he is, but I'm a little infatuated with him. So I understand, I understand. I do have fantasies about him. I think he's probably a very, like an animal, like a grizzly bear in bed. I don't know, like Chewbacca in bed or something. Like, lift you up, come here. I just imagine that he's like that. Weird. Weird, I know. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Forrest Whitaker, his wife is named Keisha. That alone makes me love him. Plus, he's a Cancer. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I think he's getting a divorce, too. I believe I saw that in the gossip thing that he was getting a divorce from his wife. So I'm like, holler at me. Holler. All right, you guys. Miss Ray, you a freak? I'm not a freak. I am a square peg. Are you kidding me? No, nobody's a freak here. I'm too much of a germaphobe to be a freak. Ugh, don't get me started on that. See, anytime we talk about fluids and all that, it sends me into another realm. Another realm, please. Lance Gross, that's gross. One of the experiments agreed to be a part of outing chubby brown lady on the getaway. What the hell? I don't know what that is. All right. So, you guys, we're coming to the end of this live, and I appreciate you all for joining me again. And click all the links in the description box if you want to set up a consultation with me to evaluate your relationships, what you should do, what you should not do, who you should be with and who you shouldn't, what you need to do for yourself to rebrand yourself for the best possible outcome, to build up your own self-awareness, self-esteem, self-resolve, emotional intelligence. Then you contact me. You contact me via all the links in the description box. Go to my art site. Subscribe to the blog, people. Subscribe to that too. And then look out for the Ugly Girls Club. It's going to be coming soon. I'm getting that together. The Ugly Girl. I'm gonna have merch for that. I'm gonna have t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And y'all better wear it too. Y'all gotta wear. You're gonna have to wear Ugly Girls t-shirt out in the street. And let me see what you're gonna have stories about your responses. I bet. When you take vanity off the table, the world opens to you. The world will open up to you. You have to walk with me. You have to walk with me. Let me guide you. That's all I ask. Shake it up and do something different. Lovely T did a video on L Gross. On L Gross. Lance Gross. I don't even know who that is. Now I gotta go look up. Who's Lance Gross? What did he do? Anyone want to share what he did? I have no clue who that is. Oh, peace. She's getting famous. Who's getting famous? What are y'all talking about? An actor? Okay. We don't behave ugly though. We are beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He was once engaged to Eve Pigford. Oh, I still don't know who that is though. What did he do though? I need to buy a session with you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Go to iloveherart.com and click on the life coach page and sign up for one of the programs there, one of the sessions there. And let's make this thing happen. Don't wait. Listen, time is more valuable than your money, you know. You don't want to be one of these 40-something, 50-something, 60-something year old women who just now getting the game together. Who just now getting the game? Because at that point, it's like, well, what is the point? You don't want to wait till what is the point in your life. A lot of you wait to pull the trigger, and it's not about that. Time is worth more than for women. Let me repeat that. Time is worth more than money for women. Men can wait all their lives for things. We cannot. Make your move as it comes. As the inspiration comes, move on it. Move on whatever the idea is. Whatever you have to do, whatever you have to learn, you move on it right away. Stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. That's all I have to say. Guys, I've been dating left today because of my looks, like you said he would. Now I'm following your rules. Thank you for the insight. Oh, hang on with me. I know I seem crazy and I seem unorthodox and like I'm out of my mind, but I'm never going to tell you a lie. What I'm never going to do is tell you something that is a lie. It may hurt your feelings. It may be something you never heard before, but it's not going to be a lie. Never that. Never that. So replay the video. Replay this. Talk to me in private if you need some step-by-step guidance, and I'm here. All right, I'm out.